Never joke with something like this, because this can be your own transformation. Whatever is done to your pastor, whatever has been released into his hand, is also released into your hand.
Yes.
Whatever is committed into him is also committed. If God open for him, God open for you. If God favors him today, God favors you. The strength of the church is the strength of the pastor. How far a church will go is how far the pastor can go. The capacity to which a church will go is the capacity to which the pastor can go. So the limitation of the church is the limitation of the pastor. So if your pastor ends up being local, the church becomes local. If the pastor ends up becoming global, the church goes global. When the church grows, the pastor grows in capacity, the church grows in capacity. If the pastor grows in revelation, like I told, the church grows in revelation. Build the church, build the pastor, you build the church. The easiest way to grow a church is to grow the man. Grow the man in capacity, grow the pastor, and the church grows. So today, your pastor is going to receive a key that he had never received in his life. And this key will bear many things. First, it will bear keys in the spirit, and then it will bear keys in the physical. Physical keys are just small. That you buy the car, you buy the house, you buy the car. In my house now, I have 3 cars parked. The least of them is a Lexus Jeep parked. Sometimes I look at those cars and they mean nothing to me. God houses, I got lands, even in foreign countries. But those keys are just limited. But there's a key in the spirit. When you have this key, it opens the physical key.
Yes, sir.
We labor for the physical key. We want to see things in the physical. If I say receive car key, I receive. You know. Oh, receive. I throw house key, you receive. But the truth is, those keys are physical. Those keys can be taken away from you. Those keys are limited in the physical. Those keys are nothing. But there is a key. Jesus said, labor not for the meat that perishes. Labor not for that which can be taken away from you. But there's a key that you will receive in the spiritual. It will bend the keys of the physical. So as the key is placed upon his hand, the key will also be placed upon your hand.
Amen.
Put your 2 hands right now. And never joke with this time. You know, they preach to you. They've shown you different strategic, prophetic ways, and they minister light, revelation, power. Me, I want to minister prophetically. And I want to, out of the measures of the grace that God has given to me, I want to release it upon your life. See, a man can change your life. No matter how far you have gone in life, you need a man in your life. How many of you know about this man called Peterson that just married? You know him? He's a very powerful man of God. You know Peterson? You know Peterson is going to do anything. He had a concert in New York 2 weeks ago. It was a shutdown. That hall was in 3,000 capacity. They had close to 6,000 people. What amazed me is that as blessed and as wealthy as he is, when he wanted to marry, he's actually marrying my daughter. What is his name? I raised my daughter. And then he said, we need a man of God that can cover us in this way. William said, I know my pastor, call him. So they reached out to me and said, man of God, we need you to cover the wedding. So they brought entire wedding under the coverage of Jesus, and they asked me to supervise it. So we were in New York a few weeks ago. It was warm. I faced terrible witches and wizards. I've not seen that on the one of the world before. This is where we had a wedding. Rain was falling at the wedding ground. rain was not falling outside the wedding camp. This is where we are at the wedding. Somebody walked into the wedding and told the father of the bride, in 3 days, you will see what will happen. And the woman disappeared. And in 3 days, they kidnapped the sister of the bride. The sister of Peter's. What helped them was that they brought that wedding under the coverage. And they recognized the place of a man over their life. A man can be the instrument of your transformation. A man can be the instrument of your downfall. A man is the solution to your life. Stanley, this time next week, you will be in the US. And like joke, it's not just saying it, he has the capacity to bring it to conversation. As a matter of fact, what you expected, your experience, or your desire, or your cry, or your expectation is a person's reality. What you are dreaming about, Lord, it's just for them to hold you by the hand and take you to that level. The problem we have is our generation is a very proud generation. Very proud. Very proud. A man is the instrument of the prophetic shift in your life. A man can hold you by the hand, sir, like I'm holding you, and say, walk with me. And you take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. By the 7th step, you start like check. When they see you tomorrow, people who saw you here, if they see you by, I give you 6 p.m. tomorrow, suddenly life changes. It is the gift of men. It's a man. In Psalm 8, verse 5, what is man? The angel was shocked. What is man? They are mindful of him. What is man? What is in this man? You know, God created all creatures. He made angels. Angels in their status and capacity. Angels are powerful beings. One angel, the Bible says, sent 187,000 Amalekites. Assyrian, one angel killed all of them. One, as powerful as they are. Have you seen an angel before? One angel put his leg within the sea and put another one between the land. As powerful as that. If an angel enters into Oyibo, it will sink everywhere. Buildings will spin, will crumble. How powerful angels are. And yet God made another being called man. And called them mankind. The word kind means this is a different species entirely. I have made angels, I've made animals, but I need to make a species, a being called mankind. This man will become an immortal being. The first man God made, Adam, was not created to die. The first man was created with a life called everlasting life. Let's read the man. We never hear it. And God breathed into the man. The man became a living being. And God gave that man the capacity to eat from the tree called the tree of life. He made him to live forever. He was not supposed to be subjected to a law called the law of sin or the law of death. So the first man was an immortal being. The first man was a man who was not supposed to be subjected. And that man was meant to live and live a life of loyalty to God. In devotion, it kept being hidden. Hidden is a place, a spot between heaven and earth where divinity comes to fraternize with humanity. As hidden. God kept man in hidden so he can fellowship with man. But you know, because man lost track, man lost the place of the ordination that God has destined for man. Man settled for less. Man lived in disobedience. You know, man was supposed to be loyal to God. And as long as man was loyal to God, everything is supposed to obey man. If, for instance, lion are supposed to obey you. No matter how terrible creatures are, they're supposed to obey you as a man. But as long as you are loyal to God, every creature is loyal to you. I told every church, I said, man is not supposed to dominate man. The first man, all mankind are supposed to live in dominion. Man is supposed to dominate nature, dominate all creature of God, but not man. Until when man fell. So we started dominating ourselves. We're using material like gold and all kinds of things to dominate ourselves. So man lost the nature, lost the original nature, the glory of God that God has destined upon man. So that's why we are subjected to a law called the law of sin and the law of death. And that law is the law that conquered man to this level. But there's a generation rising, and this generation is called a mortal being. And listen, if we are not careful, AI is coming now. Everything is becoming artificial intelligence. Everything is AI is a realm. You see, that AI is a little microcosm of what the world that is to come. Those AI, those things, those beings called AI, there's a plan in the realm of the spirit that those AI, those machines and robots, they won't get tired. Those robots never get tired. They are building robots to dominate the world of man. They are building robots. In fact, there is a church right now in England. It's a robot like a preacher. The pastor is a robot. They program the message in that robot. You just stand and deliver the message. So a generation is rising, and that generation must be the immortal generation. A generation that must return back to original creation, the essence of creation, the original nature that God kept in man, which is called the nature of immortal. And that is the generation that God is raising. That is those who will carry the life of God inside of them. Lift up your hands this morning. I want to put this key in the hand of our pastor. It's a key for the way.